Our next guest is the analyst on the broadcast this weekend for the game. He is Brock Osweiler, the pride of Kalispell, Montana. Brock, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome back. We had you on a couple weeks ago. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, it's great to be back on, and I love the Kalispell shout-out. It's a special place.
Montana's super underrated, man. It is awesome. Like, every time I go to Montana, I'm like, why don't I come here more often? It's great. But let's talk about BYU and Iowa State. Certainly this is an interesting matchup for a million reasons. Both want to get bowl eligible. BYU coming off a couple of bad games. You saw one of those in person at TCU where BYU in the last three road games, BYU's put up one touchdown in those games. Now BYU's at home where they haven't lost a game this year and have been very different, and they've got a new quarterback. So what do you think of this matchup and what sticks out?
Yeah, I think it's exciting, and it's really for what you said at the very beginning. It's both of these football teams are trying to get bowl eligible before they have two very difficult remaining games. Obviously, BYU plays the Oklahoma schools, and Iowa State finishes with Texas and Kansas State. So both teams have great urgency to get that sixth win because we know how important that bowl game is, not only from a financial standpoint, but more or less, I think it's huge for recruiting and getting those younger players on your roster the extra practices. So I expect a heavyweight title fight. You know, these are two teams, as you guys know, that really take great pride in playing with great physicality and toughness. And so, you know, when you look at the offenses, you know, there's nothing to really get overly excited about. But if you appreciate good, tough, hard-nosed defensive football, there's been some great defense. Obviously, BYU struggled a little bit on the road, especially against the run last week with West Virginia. But you're back at Lavelle Edwards Stadium where, you know, I don't need to tell you guys how good the Cougars have been there recently.
Brock, what's your take on BYU's first year in the Big 12? Are they what you kind of figured they would be?
You know, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit surprised with some of the struggles as of late. I think Kalani is a tremendous head coach. I love the approach that he brings. I think he's a phenomenal leader, and it seems like the kids really love him, respond to him, want to play for him. And when you kind of dissect your guys' roster, you know, you guys have some dudes on your roster. Up front, offense and defensive line, which, you know, I know that's kind of been the target lately as far as kind of underachieving. Why? You know, not totally sure. You look at your skill positions. You know, I think you guys have some great receivers. Obviously, Keaton Slovis had big expectations coming into the season. And then I think you guys have two of arguably the best defensive backs in the country. You know, so when I look at your guys' roster top to bottom, your coaching staff, how they go about it, the brand of football that BYU is used to playing, the home field advantage, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised, but you know what, that's why you play the game. I thought you guys would possibly have a few more wins at this point in time, but you know, credit the Big 12 and the quality of play top to bottom in that conference right now.
The big surprise has been that the BYU offense has not mustered much, especially in the run game. BYU's needed takeaways and an opportunistic offense and special teams to win. Now you have a new quarterback in Jake Retzloff. What did you see against West Virginia that maybe mixes it up and gives BYU a shot against Iowa State?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing with Jake, you know, I think he gives you an opportunity to extend plays outside the pocket. Right. Keaton, you know, I think he's a tremendous pocket quarterback. I think he's very smart. He makes good decisions with the football. He's accurate. But right now, your offensive line isn't playing great. And so with Jake's athleticism and his ability to escape the pocket, get outside, make some plays, you know, that could be a huge factor for you guys tomorrow night. What I saw with Jake against West Virginia, I saw a quarterback that as the game went along, he started gaining more confidence. And it looked like the game was starting to slow down to him. You know, I think people take for granted, especially outside of these football buildings, how difficult it is to play Power 5 football, and especially at the quarterback position early in your career. You know, Jake playing junior college football the last 2 years, that was really his first taste of, big-time college football under the lights last Saturday. And by the fourth quarter, I thought he was doing some really good stuff. The fact that he gets to come home and play in front of your home fans, which is obviously a huge advantage. It'll be much quieter when he has the ball this go around versus being on the road in a tough Morgantown environment. I like what I've seen. And if, like I said, if he can make some plays outside the pocket, maybe pick up a few first downs with his legs, that's really going to benefit the team.
ESPN's Brock Osweiler is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Let's say you're the offensive coordinator. You're Aaron Roderick for tomorrow. What kind of game do you call to make things a little easier for this young quarterback?
Yeah, I think early on, there's a saying in the quarterback room, and they're called breather plays. And they're plays that should be guaranteed completions. And what I mean by that, a breather play is a play that an offensive coordinator can call, and regardless of the coverage, regardless of what the defense does, basically the quarterback just needs to do what he's been coached to do, drop back and throw it to the first guy in his progression. And I think if Aaron is able to dial up some of those plays and get the young quarterback in rhythm, I think that'll help him build some confidence very early in the football game. Another key piece to it, it's the running game and the screen game. And I know you guys have not had much success lately running the football, but a young quarterback's best friend is a good run game. And obviously that is the brand of football that you guys have been accustomed to playing the last couple of years. You guys are tough, physical, you run the football efficiently, and then off of the run game, you guys get screens and get that going. It's really going to make the young quarterback's night a lot easier. You don't want to get into a game where Jake has to drop back 40-plus times, even 30-plus times, and work through progressions constantly, be under pressure. That's really tough for a young quarterback.
One of the questions I have is whether BYU can muster much against this Iowa State defense, which is top 2 in the league in yards allowed, rush yards allowed, pass efficiency defense. They're pretty stinking good. What do you think of that matchup against one of the best defenses, if not the best, in the Big 12?
You're exactly right. It's the Cyclones are playing really, really, really good defense right now, and they have some studs on that side of the ball. How do you play great offense against that? I honestly think it's playing great defense and special teams for you guys. And what I mean by that, I think your special teams needs to come up big and your defense in order to give your offense some extra possessions tomorrow night, as well as short fields. I mentioned it, earlier in the conversation. I think Eddie Heckard and Jacob Robinson are playing as good as any cornerbacks in the country right now. So if they can come up big against an Iowa State quarterback who, let's be frank, he's thrown 3 pick sixes on the season. So I think there's going to be a chance there for your defense to make some plays. If you guys can come up big on the defensive side of the ball, give your offense a short field, obviously, then it's time for the offense to step up, make the plays that they need to do, play complementary football, and get into the end zone. Because you're right, going 70, 80, even 60 yards on a consistent basis against that Iowa State defense is going to be a tough task to ask for.
Brock, now you're talking to both teams. Give us a couple of keys for both sides. For Iowa State to win this game tomorrow night, what do the Cyclones need to do? And you've kind of hit on a couple of things for BYU, but specifically a couple of things that BYU has to do. And then on Monday, we'll see how you did.
Yeah. For Iowa State, I really think it boils down to starting fast on offense. As the game went along last week against Kansas at home, they started to get better offensively, started putting up some yards and points, but they really struggled early on. And I think, I've never personally been to LaVell Edwards Stadium, but I've heard a lot about it, and it sounds like a very difficult place to play on the road. I know it's going to be a sold-out crowd. It's going to be a tremendous atmosphere. So if you're the road team, you want to go out and have success early so you can quiet down that crowd so that they don't play such a factor in the game. And then I know it's kind of a boring answer, but, because I've been saying it about BYU, but I ultimately think this game comes down to whoever wins the turnover margin. you're talking about two defenses that have been very opportunistic this season, creating turnovers, getting the ball back to their offense. And then you look at both offenses, and for the most part, have done a pretty darn good job of protecting the football. So I think who can ever make that big kind of momentum-changing play on defense, win the turnover margin, who makes the big play on special teams. When you look at two offenses that have been struggling, that's where you're going to have to find your momentum and your points is in special teams and defense.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out that BYU actually has 3 more touchdowns than Iowa State. And this is not the BYU offense of old with McMahon and Detmer or Sark slinging it around right now, even Taysom Hill, which is crazy. Okay, this is your first time to Lavelle Edwards Stadium. And Provo, let me give you some itinerary ideas for tomorrow. Maybe in the morning, hike the Y. Let's get you a cougar tail. They're doing a chocolate-flavored donut tomorrow, though, instead of the maple. And then, just enjoy the game at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Do you need any other recommendations? Maybe Bam Bam's Barbecue for lunch or something?
I read something that opposing fans get delivered ice cream in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Or something like
you
that.
want some ice cream, Brock?
Tomorrow night it's going to be brownies. So, well, I mean, if something like that just randomly gets delivered to the press box booth, I won't be upset about that.
Or should you be?
I got you. I'll be on the 3rd floor. I just go up to the 4th. I'll deliver it personally. Let's go.
They're doing brownies. They're doing brownies tomorrow.
I've driven through Provo a few times, and I've kind of seen the stadium off in the distance. And I tell you what, it just looks like one of the most beautiful settings in college football. Reminds me a lot of back home in Montana. So I can't wait to get up there and see it in person.
Hey, that hike to the Y, just know that's no cakewalk. That thing's just straight.
At least drive to the parking lot and look
down.
out. At least that. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Well, Brock, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. Safe travels, and we'll see you tomorrow at Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
Anytime, guys. Thank you for having me.